stay in the frame. Yep. People. Joel Benjamin 528, aka MC Spookism.
This is
The
Baba
man,
New
come in the
Hiri.
frame, Baba New.
Yeah,
Let me
man.
put it back a little bit. There we go.
This is Baba New Hiri.
It is what it is.
It's going to be what it will be.
Tell them the title, man.
So today we're going to really start this show off with, why you really need to get on to the FULTON Quantum Leap. So check this out.
Well, you gotta tell them the whole title. They're on there now. Light codes. Anyway, they'll see the title. Go ahead.
Yeah, man.
Break your flow. Go ahead.
I'm going to drop you guys some light codes for the Ascension. Stargates have opened up, and a lot of light, as in knowledge and understanding, it is coming down. You just have to catch it. Not everyone was taught how to catch it. They call it Tetris. Words fall from heaven, and you got to arrange them quickly, and you get the memos. The FULTON Quantum Leap. It's in the ceremonies where we quantum leap, leaping up to heaven on that binary beat, because we fell from heaven and getting back is so steep. So we must quantum leap. The FULTON Quantum Leap. It's in the serpent dances we stimulate our wings. People need to understand this nest is not just about, spookism. People need to dance and sing in ceremony. With the serpent trances we go within for angelic chances to dance and sing from heaven. From heaven gifts we bring. The star code download and our calendar according to the I Ching. The new millennium is the 20th hexagram of the I Ching. Year 2000, drop the last two zeros, that's hexagram 20. This is the tower. Only one tower. There's only one tower was supposed to fall in 1991. You understand? They were trying to really, really knock stuff out then. 1900s. That's the 19th hexagram. The 19th hexagram, that is called approach. 1900s are the approach to the collapse of the epoch, meaning that the epoch fully collapsed within 12 years after 2000. 12 signs of the zodiac, 12 disciples, etc., etc.
Real quick. So you see, this is the part people don't like. But then people be asking me, what he mean by this? What he mean by that? What the hell is epoch? Talk to the people real quick.
An epoch is a cycle. Sometimes it gets confused, but it's a cycle.
Every 7 years, every 8 years.
Well, this specific epoch is the 25,920 years epoch of the sun's transit through the precessional of the zodiac. But I'm going to be what is an epoch? That's the greater epoch. The smaller ones, it's a cycle. 2,160 years each. That's how long it takes the sun to transit through a sign of the precessional zodiac. Approach is the 19th hexagram. So listen carefully, because you're not being updated. You were not privileged to this information.
Why?
You would have needed to be in certain groups,
Say no more. Continue. Say no more. Continue.
Yeah, really, that's how you get information, by being around certain people, whether it's ancestrally or in the human realm. You have to find a way to be getting that information.
Facts.
You need universal knowledge. On to this collapse of the epoch, according to the Mayan long count calendar. You can YouTube Mayan long count calendar, YouTube it, study it all.
Mayan
long count calendar, which is the great solar year of 25,920 years. That's what they call in the epoch. That's what collapsed, and that's why the word apocalypse is really the collapse of the epoch. So this is the post-apocalyptic era. We are living after the fall. On the solstice of 2010 is when it ended. 2012, you couldn't deny it. Meaning, in 2012, when 2012 hit, what did we see? Birds falling from the sky, fish washing up. I mean, it looked apocalyptic.
Red rain.
Red rain, blood
falling
rain.
from the sky.
Since then, we had a polar vortex. We had acid rain actually like destroying a horse out in
Blood red moon. You know the lecture I did on that. Blood red moon.
Blood red moons. We had the year of jubilees, and in that year, if you was really, really like rampaging against the system and the system was trying to get you, it could not. That was the year for you to wild out. The year of jubilee was the year for you to go ham on the man.
Instead, some people was going wild and ham on each other.
And notice, people ask, well, where you was, Babanu? I wasn't on the scene, trying to be on the scene, because I was going ham on the man.
Right.
During that time, because I knew they couldn't stop me in that year. They couldn't kill me in that year. They couldn't jail me in that year. Any court case would have been, boom. You didn't get the updates. Listening to these nut jobs, whether it's in the so-called conscious movement, is not a community, or even a lot in the worldwide scene. You know, to even be updated on the year of Jubilees, you mainly have to be listening to Christians. And there's a good documentary on the year of Jubilees that really gets in the fact that, you know, black people wrote the Bible in the Bible and, you know, these types of things. So that was, you know, a good look. I get told where to go and look. This is the processional of the zodiac that ended, and why only a misguided soul would believe that astrology is evil. Anybody who thinks that astrology is evil is mentally retarded. Their mental development has been retarded. It has not blossomed. It has not come to fruition.
And you're not saying that to be insultive in a way.
That's the absolute truth. Every astrologer is either a quote-unquote Muslim or trying to be one, because the star and crescent is about following the stars. I saw.
Hold up. They gonna check me if I question you on that, Baba.
Check him.
Baba Nu.
We're gonna get into it, man.
You're gonna draw a lot of heat for that one, which is no problem, because I know you dance with the devil every now and again.
Because we burning.
But I'm not just gonna let you say that and slide off to the next. Explain,
because these solar light codes is about reunifying, resynchronizing the world's three major religions, which comes from the Sirius star system: the red, the white, and the blue.
Wait a minute. Did you say repeat those colors again?
The red, the white, and the blue. And these were the standard colors for the Khmu. And the American flag,
with stars and stripes.
With the stars, the red, white, and blue stars, stripes, banner stars and stripes. That's our flag. That's some universal light codes that people need to get. If you're talking about us as a people, because you can be anti-American, you'll never catch me burning that flag. Any black man caught burning and this is why I was like, you know, Colin Kaepernick should sit down and not knee, because when you're kneeing, you're still saluting. You're not.
Facts!
You're not doing.
As a matter of fact, you're more in a submissive role.
Yeah, it's like you about to be knighted, son. And they, instead of knighting you, because you knelt down, they chopped your head off.
He was better off just standing.
If you're not going to sit down, stand. Don't kneel, brother. That is absolutely, you know,
bonkers.
Because then you are confused. Like, for instance, the networks and the teams and all those people, they would have liked you better if you had sat down. Because kneeling is more decent as well. You know, it's more noble as well. Sit down and meditate whilst it's happening. That's what you do. Alter your breath stance and visualize what you want. Don't kneel. That's a waste of time. Let me get back into these, you know, light codes. So, you know, astrologers, and then that's to say, I saw a quote-unquote Muslim try to discredit Ifa practitioners because they don't follow the stars. And the only way you can be accurate with what's going on in life is if you follow the stars. Well, guess what? Ifa follows the stars. All the Odu are based on what's going on in your astrological chart. And if you went and got an astrological reading done that was done correctly, it will correlate with Ifa. I've done it several times. You're supposed to approach this stuff like a science. Like a science. And not keep following people who just want to seduce you with ideals of supremacy and separation just to tell you a whole bunch of stuff that just leads to, physical, verbal, and weaponry confrontation.
But that's spookism, Baba New.
Yeah, man. Astrology. I heard, we ain't saying no names, but there's this nut job out there who looks intelligent because most of the time he reads out of books. That's how you know he's not intelligent. Because most of the time he's reading from books.
Regurgitation.
Yeah, no original thought. If you can't reformulate that in your head and make sure everybody can even repeat what you said, they will remember you after they're dead. You're dead. You're a zombie. You're just regurgitating crap. You're giving people a vomit slap. Get your own mind. Get your own
I think
spark.
I need to drop a bomb on that
Drop
one.
a bomb on it, man.
Boom! Hit him.
Yeah, man, because these people that saying they got this and that squad, you don't have the squad. You're a scout, not a soldier. You're a scout. A soldier is a soldier and a scout is a scout. And you people are following Boy Scouts.
Woo!
Let me continue.
Damn.
On every side of the racial divide. It's not a racial thing. It really is not. It's the government, the nation, and the society. And you are part of it pretending not to be. Sorry, sir. You ain't got the light codes. So every astrologer is either a Muslim or trying to be one because that's what Islam means, to follow the stars. It only makes sense that our lives should be in harmony with stars. We cannot move or shift the orbits of planets. We can, au contraire. It is the planets that are moving and shifting us. And it is our refusal to submit that causes all the great unnecessary failures, pains, and injustices of humanity.
Say that last part again. I don't think they caught that.
Okay.
If they caught that,
If they caught that,
it would have been lit up on the comment section right now. So I don't think they caught that. Go ahead, hit it again.
I'm Kurt, man. I don't really have that much to say, so here it goes. We cannot move or shift the orbits of planets. Au contraire, mon frère, the orbits of planets shift and move us. We are in the swirl of the solar system. We're in the swirl of the galaxy. That's where we are. We are caught up in its gravitational movements, and the gravitational fields have the ideologies of the Neteru, the deities, and that's the light descending down here to organize the humanities. You need to listen. Conversely, it is the role of the wise men and women of the nation to organize their nation state and worldview according to the will of heaven. That's called Taoism.
The will of what?
The will of heaven.
The will of what?
The will of heaven.
Oh, I don't think I heard you. Of who?
The will of heaven. And if
Okay.
you never heard of the Knacks of Fuhi, let me continue. I don't want to insult every single body. Because the original people that laid down the foundations of the Asian culture.
Too much. Don't stop you. Too much. I just hit them that for the next shot. I already know what you're coming with.
It is the descent of heaven that is nourished within every man and woman that provides that bridge to you becoming your greatest potential. The Illuminati, the Knight Templars, the Rothschilds, Astors, Windsors, these ruling families and others not named were given authority to rebuild Atlantis in the West. Because that's what this is about. From the founding fathers, from Adam Weishaupt, even the Thule Society, from the Bavarian Illuminati and Aleister Crowley, who initiated Hitler, is all connected. Synchronicity. And the Spider Woman is binding all of these evil archons to their karma. So Stay in the light and you will get your blessings. Someone said to me, great ancestrally, every great person has to go through an excruciating suffering ordeal to manifest the light and the power within them. So if you haven't suffered, you have no right to be a sovereign. A sovereign.
Melanin reacts under stress. Don't ever forget that.
Don't ever forget that, people. Don't ever forget that. It was to be great and glorious. It was to be a great and glorious nation. Unfortunately, they've violated their oaths. They've broken their covenants. But worst of all, we are not prepared for the collapse of an epoch. You've been listening to too many idiots. It would seem that blind faith and the beseech of whosoever owns this universe have mercy on us, because we are caught up in the follies of little children. This is 2017, and the 17th hexagram is one of following. It's about learning to follow. You're learning to be in harmony with the universe. So either you are getting this idea that you in 2017, by 2017, every person who's not an inferior person should know that they need to really, really find something well codified that they can follow to be able to mitigate against a lot of the nonsense, that is going on in their life.
Stop. Gotta stop you. Because what you just said is right. But now you're going to say I'm starting stuff.
Got to be starting something. Got to be starting something.
You have people that use light codes for good, and you have them that use it for bad. The way how they use it for bad is that they make certain things shift in a direction that it's not supposed to be.
Yep.
But they make it appear that it shifts. It's not really shift, but they make it appear that it shifts.
Yep.
Have you seen some of the things that's been happening?
Let me tell you something. This morning, I saw a whole train station disappear twice. Get this right, because when you get on the radar, like recently, they're like, you're back on the radar. Like, I'm back on the radar. I never went off the radar, and the stuff that's been happening, it never really calmed down. It's an onslaught. You can call me the Hulk. George Bush said, "Bring it on." George Bush is depressed now. Before I move on, this is the real test now. How intelligent you are. George H.W. Bush Jr. read the God Genes Decoded.
Facts.
The people who own Western civilization, they've all read the God Genes Decoded.
Facts.
The fact that you don't know about it, that might not be your fault. For every single human being who's known about the God Genes Decoded, who's heard my shows, haven't bought it, you are the biggest, you are amongst the people who are called the biggest problem on the planet. You're the biggest problem on the planet. You did not get the memo.
I know they wish they had got it when it was a bit cheaper.
Yep. Maybe if y'all had,
way cheaper.
maybe if y'all had gone and got it the way it should have been, I would have been dead 6 years earlier. I'd been able to move on with my life. Because y'all are just really holding me up. At this point, I was told this morning by my, you get messages and sometimes it takes a very long to get them. The Netert Sekhmet said, I only had to write one book to complete my earthly mission. That's the first one.
And instead you wrote 3.
And instead I wrote 3.
So you gave them overload.
By the third book, Legba was literally shutting me down. You remember what you was talking about? I've seen stuff disappeared.
Yeah.
I've seen stuff disappeared before. They will come. This is what Legba did to me. Legba put me to sleep. And when I woke back up, the information, it was gone. the information was very, very specific to the type of attitude you have towards life to become a god. And it's something that I pretty much said in a roundabout way in this recording. However, when it's in book form, and
Come in the
you
frame.
when it's in book form, and you start to prove it biologically, like proving it biologically, who are the most powerful people? You know what type of life they have, what type of things they do, and it's not just mentally; it's also physically. Proving it that way, because it gets translated into density. Your spiritual bodies become much more dense. You can match force much better when you engage in that lifestyle, and like I tell this brother right now, it's hard for people to hit him with witchcraft. It's
No.
very, very hard.
Oh, I feel
Everybody
them
that
already
body
know that.
builds,
I feel
everybody that
them that
body
already know
builds,
that.
a lot of people that body build walk around a lot of time not even realize that people trying to kill them with witchcraft.
Which I did uh live stream before, letting people know how to raise their vibration. One is with exercise, and then quite frankly, the way you're born. It got some people that's born a certain way.
Yeah,
And I ain't gonna get in too deep into that. Because I believe that's for our next show, although it ties in greatly with this one.
right.
But that would be overkill for them. What time you got?
It is now 5:30.
Oh, shout out time. All right, let's see who we got up in here. CTMGM Yitse. Salute to ya. Dominic Buffoon, salute to ya. My man, Suicide H29, salute to ya. Janae Jones, salute to ya. Who else up in here? 18 Lucky, salute to ya. Who's this? Dayson Cole, salute to ya. Genevision Media, salute to ya. The UK is in the house. Salute to the UK. Genevision Media. She do stuff where she help children and all that. Oh, and we got Light and Love. Salute to
Light
you.
and love.
The
Yeah, man.
international audience is in the building. All right. Let's see who else we got up in here.
Hit the like button.
Ain't no fee.
What's up?
Salute to you.
Facts.
Let me see who else up in. Yeah, and hit that damn like button. Too much people up in here, and I ain't gonna keep saying it. Them days is gone. Them days is dead. All that hit the like button, hit the like button. Them days is dead. When you see me stop coming on here, giving you the certain information that's needed, you see Bob Manu fade out, and then you be like, damn, how come you going and giving the information to other people, brother? You know, you see, I see the way you look at.
Listen,
You know, when they start hitting us with that, because some people already, I ain't gonna say
man,
nothing. I'm
listen.
gonna leave that alone.
You gotta blame your conscious movement leaders for me not being on the scene. So let me drop this one on you because we didn't even scratch the surface. Back to the 20th hexagram on and the tower 2000. The internet and the development of the internet put society in the position of the tower. Everybody
Come
can
in the
pretty
frame.
much
Come in the frame.
everybody can pretty much see each other. The symbol of the tower is a lighthouse. The thing about a lighthouse is as it is spreading light to everyone, as it is seeing everyone with its light, everyone can see it. So it's talking about being in a position where people are really looking at you. That's America. The world in general looks at America than they look at any other country. Kemet, Egypt is studied more than any other civilization in history. And America, I did a show called what was the show called? Oh my goodness. The show was about how Western culture comes from. It's called Egyptian Lifestyle and Culture Show. And the purpose of it is to show how that the Camus luxury life, like what we attained as a people, that was constant for us.
People
Going
don't like to believe it.
Yeah,
They don't like to believe America embraced the culture of Egypt
yeah,
right now to this
Yeah,
day.
America is so much patterned after the culture and the
Yeah, come in
esteem
the
and
frame, bro,
goals of
so they can see.
ancient Egypt. You know, this is where the people of the Western world get their highest inspiration from. It is the light of the world. I saw a brother talking about Kabbalah, and it was really about Kemet. You know, it was Kabbalah that was written by non-black people. You know, meaning these are books that might have been written 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 50, 60, non-black people. But all the symbolism is really all about Kemet. It's like they're saying Kemet is the Kabbalah. And when you study Kabbalah, every great popular Kabbalist book says the best Kabbalah is the Egyptian Kabbalah. So, if somebody asks me to debate a Hebrew, I'll be like, you mean teach him? You mean teach a Hebrew? The tree of life. You know? So the 20th hexagram now, a lot of people are looking at each other as well. Now it is a time though when you get to that 20th hexagram, what is happening is that as a lighthouse job is to steer people away from the rocks so that they don't crash into the shore when the ship is coming into dock. The ship is Aquarius. Aquarius is Osiris. The bark of Osiris is trying to come into dock. If the lighthouse isn't properly situated, what's going to happen? It's going to crash into the shore. It's going to be what they call moored. It's going to be moored. So, as it is, we don't even have real proper guiding posts set up to make sure that as this, change, as this transition comes in, there isn't all of these crashes. And as a result, we are having crashes in civilization. Civilization is on a crash course right now to a final crash, to an end point. There's going to be a climactic point. 2017. Next year, 2018. Okay, go get the I Ching, and every hexagram from 2001, meaning 1 being the first hexagram, all the way to 2064, because of the end of the processional, they're going to line up with the themes of those hexagrams because we're at a boiling point. Next year is the year that you need to work on what has been spoiled, in your mind. It has more to do with your ideology. That is what is being reconfigured as we are passing through the center of the Milky Way galaxy. That's is pretty much word for word what they call the 2012 end of the Mayan long count calendar event, and the Kemu kept track of what's called the Jed pillar. The universe has a center. It's called a Jed. It is the axis. In the Haitian Vodun, it's called the Ptah Matan, because Ptah, along with Osir and Tehuti, are part of that Jed as the center of the universe. So there's the Jed pillar of Osiris, there's the Jed pillar of Ptah. I can't I can't specifically recall if they also speak of the Jed pillar of Tehuti. But it's really neither here nor there, because as these three deities, and when you study the Dogon cosmology, the Dogon first of all exited Kemet around the time of the Ptolemy dynasty that they call the Ptolemies. It's Ptolemy. We usually pronounce it as mesh. We don't say Ramesses, we say Ramesh. And if you want correlation, look at some of those Hindu names. There are Hindu people that tell you my name Ramesh.
All
My
right,
name
let's get into the good stuff.
we are getting into the good stuff.
No, no.
Oh, you mean let's
You,
let's start to
let's dig deeper. Cause we're in this time now. You know me. You know how I get down. You know what I'm about.
let's get down.
Let's deal with in this time now.
Let's get down.
Because we're dealing with these light codes.
Right.
I want you to explain some of the stuff that you witness going on with these light codes right now, where certain people just pretty much exposing themselves.
Yeah, and it's like this. He who has the basket to catch the gifts from heaven is often most hated on earth. So what is happening is that America is governed by the eagle, and if you study the eagle is Zeus, Prometheus, who stole the wisdom and light from the gods. Every single day, Zeus would come and pack his liver out.
That's right.
So that
shouldn't have gave the humans the flame.
Shouldn't have gave the humans the flame. And the liver represents that, life, and also the ambition to go after light. You got to make sure that your liver system is good if you want to be able to move up, ideologically. But so, what we have is, I call them little Eichmanns. We have little Eichmanns who are, I call it, it's called the action plan for becoming a revolutionary and pimping the movement.
Oh boy.
One of the first things that you got to do, you got to say the white man's the devil. You have to say this. If you don't say the white man is the devil, and we had done a show because a certain miscreant mandates that you believe that to get play. Maybe because he believes that's the only way you're going to get money, and he wants money. Maybe he just doesn't want you to mess with his money. Because it's like saying that the people are fickle, but it's absolutely not true. It's a government-sponsored agenda, government influence. So what they do is, white people ain't no good, the white man ain't no good. We should never go with somebody outside of our race, and they have to tell you that the black woman is God. I was waiting on that one. I was waiting on that one because and I'll tell you the type of stuff that I saw.
Wait.
We're gonna talk about the women too. It's not just the brothers.
Wait. Gosh damn. So hold up. They say the black woman is God, but not all of them believe that anymore.
Not all of them believe that anymore.
Because
and when
people dealing with white. Go ahead.
When they were saying the black woman is God, they weren't trying to get in between the black woman's panties. They were trying to get in a position. They were trying to get in a position financially so that they can pretty much leave the black woman behind. Leave the black woman. Leave her for a white girl. And when you get up, leave her for a white girl, man. You gotta first, you got to sell them the hustle. You're a god. I ain't even calling you, because I never went out there. I never went out there pushing that black woman is God. And I have very, very clear, provable theories that can make it look as though that's a substantial idea. I have to broach what I'm saying very carefully, because it's not going to work for me. It's not going to work for me.
Now when you know so much what you already know.
Right. Yeah. So, and this is the revealing time. It's a tower. So the devil is showing you not specifically who the devil is, but what the devil do.
So the devil leaves, what you're saying. No. Let me get it correct. So the people can get it correct. So the devil will have been bigging up the black woman, saying she's God. Because I heard Tazariak spoke on this as well. Shout out to Tazariak of the ISUPK. So they big up the black woman, say she's God, when they really don't believe that. It's not just about getting in between their legs. It's for money.
It's really not.
It's for money, right? So they could gain
There are a
the
lot of black
money.
women going to be hurt when they hear this
Wait,
saying.
wait,
You
wait,
mean
wait,
they
wait,
didn't
wait.
even want to get
Wait,
my vagina?
wait. Because when I said that, people got mad at me.
Oh, you said that too?
Of course. So when they get the money now, you're saying they only getting the money to deal with the white woman? That's what you're
Hell
saying?
yeah. Hell yeah. And you know, this is psychological because in your mind, God will always be male. You make the black woman a male in, you know, these men's minds, and, you know, they're not really going to be wanting to have sex unless they're homosexual. You understand? You really got to be careful
Okay.
with what you're saying. Words cast spells that cause mental health. You know,
Say it again.
words cast spells that cause mental health.
Facts.
Facts. You know, I got that from, I think it was Hakeem Green has that in a hip hop song. I like to give credit where credit is due to where I get, you know, things that I use to, you know, flavor what I say because I agree with that. I'm not gonna go pick up somebody's book, read it over, you know what I'm saying, get all deep into it, probably read like 10 or 15 times, and then get up on stage. You still can't rhymes, but people are amazed, and 10 years later, maybe 9, they all got played. You all been played, you've been had, you've been took, you've been shawshanked, you've been hood ratted,
And reject the ones that was trying to warn them.
you're being hood rat by a hood rat who says he's getting out of hood because he don't like hood rats. You know the brother doesn't like himself. Maybe the PhD questionable son could have did a psychological breakdown of this mental insanity that we have substituted for real evolutionary revolutionaries.
You know what I'm going to ask you next?
Drop the hammer.
And it's a hard one. And you ain't going to destroy it like how that lady did Thor's hammer. This one is a tough one. You ready?
I'm ready.
Is the woman really to blame? Or the person that's been hoodwinking the woman? Because surely the woman had to have some type of idea, some feeling deep within their soul. Because judging by what the man say about the woman, they have the ultimate intuition. So how is it that these so-called men and other women too, but let's stick with mainly the men, are able to beguile the woman with these lies?
Well, if you never met the serpent, I'm just sorry. But some people need to repent. Listen to this story.
Need to what?
To repent for their sins.
Okay.
Some people need to repent for their sins. Some people really, it's not just about atonement, you know. Some people really need to do penance as well because you also have to do penance. You got to pay the piper. You don't just do something wrong and not have to, you know, recompensate for the damage that you caused. You know, that's like karmic law. How do these, we're going to talk about women get seduced in this idea. You know,
Because, and before you continue, because women hold an ultimate part of the light code. So that's why I find it like,
well,
you know, when that happens, but go ahead. I had to make sure I get that out there.
people are just begging for something to make them feel better. You know, a lot of these people are not using, you know, drugs. You know, a lot of people in the conscious movement, they're not on crack. They're not on, you know, cocaine.
Some of them.
But that
You know,
that's a,
some of
right.
them.
That might be 10%. That might be
10%?
10%.
Yeah, I get you
Yeah,
10%.
10% is still a lot,
I get
but it's
10%.
still, you know, 90% says that's not really what those people about.
Right.
You know, like those people in the conscious movement are not really about that drug life.
Right.
You know, a lot of them never even really fell victim to it. You know, they were healthy and strong enough to say, hey, this stuff ain't working. We need to look for something else. And that's really how you catch them, because people are desperate. People have low self-esteem. People have been browbeaten by the media for hundreds of years. For the black woman, it's about, her self-esteem as a woman. It's about feeling, especially black women feel that, primal mother feeling.
Correct.
Like, you can tell black men too. I look at my grandson, I'm like, he's one of the first people on the planet. Like, I look at my grandson, it's like, man, and it's not that he's damn handsome. It's like, I'm looking at him like, you must have been here when human life started. You know? Because he's got that nice brown skin. He's got that thick, like he got an afro. Like he came out the womb with a little
With a
afro.
fro.
Yeah. His mom came out the womb with a bigger afro.
Yeah.
So, he has a small, but, women push out chi faster.
Correct.
Women are 4 times more powerful than men. You should let them know that. Women can be goddesses. But if you want to talk about God or goddess superior in terms of color, you really got to get down into the nuts and bolts of the Khmu wisdom, and you might have to have some contact, like serious contact.
I got a question.
And you see it.
I got a question. This comes from Judy Scott. What's up, Judy? Salute to you. Judy Scott says, how our men don't really love the black woman. And you're not, and let me say, you didn't say all our men, but you're mainly talking about basically the ones that's conning the black women. Am I correct by saying that?
Yeah,
Okay.
how is it that they don't? Mainly because they don't like themselves. You know what I mean? A lot of it has to do with not.
So hold on, what are you saying? If they hook up with a white woman, they don't love themselves, or the fact that they've been fooling the black woman and then hook up with a white woman?
Right.
Like, I'm trying to understand.
Right,
like,
yeah,
where,
yeah.
where you coming from?
You got to be confident in yourself to not have a problem with the opposite sex of a particular, phenotype. You're talking about the black woman. You have to be confident, healed, and balanced in yourself to not really have a problem with them. To realize that, first of all, it is on an individual basis. We can talk about the collective psyche consciousness of a people, but remember, people are also individuals. So also part of the problem is it's a mental retardation. I'm going to tell you something that might shock you and crazy. I never, in the past 8 years, I never been with any sister that I didn't say, listen, what I'm looking for is to be with you till death do us part, because you're not even going to be comfortable with for all eternity. Because I'm really looking for, when it comes to the whole idea of a mate, of course, of the opposite sex, I'm not looking for somebody till death do us part. I'm looking for somebody that we go travel the universe after this life, because I got that access. I don't have to come back here. I did my job, and it's like today was the first day that I finally. But I've heard this message now for about 3 years straight. There's this person going on. He just had to write one book, like just one book. You just had to write one book.
But you gave them the overkill, so that's
Right.
good.
So this book, it is the source code. This is the source code for culture, music, the arts.
Get in the frame. Get in the frame.
This is the source code for psychology.
Hold on, we gotta move. We gotta move on. Strange Maid. Strange Maid said, "Yo, she want that correct email. Salute to Strange Maid. What's up? Let her get that correct. Give out that email. Cause we winding down. I see the time. We winding down. Give out your email, your proper email, brother.
Yeah. Egyptian voodoo priest at gmail.com. That is Egyptian. The popular spelling, there's really only one. Voodoo is VODOO. Priest. PRIEST at gmail.com. you can contact me at egyptianvoodoopriest@gmail.com. And for those who want to get the book right now, and first of all, the book is $250, and me personally will never sell this book for less than $250. Wholesalers, vendors, and bookstores, they have a little leadway,
I got you.
but they
Listen.
can't go
That,
below.
don't. I
Yeah.
got you. But holla at me. I
So
just,
you can
I just leave
contact
it like that.
the brother, and because
Cause I know certain powers that be don't even
yeah,
want to go under 250, but
yeah,
there's
man,
only a few people that could actually
yeah,
get away with doing that. So
yeah, man,
like me,
yeah, and live.
like me.
you know,
Period.
we have to talk about the movement and the black bookstore. It's really good that we can have a platform that doesn't spit on non-black people. That because I intend to cover cultures in different regions of the world that have been taken over by a non-black population. People that have adopted, kept, and maintained what they learned from an original black population. Now, the thing with this movement, you're also living after the fall of the movement. This movement died about 18 years ago. This
How long?
movement, this
How
movement,
long?
about 18 years ago, this movement been dead. That's why you're seeing so much mentally disturbed people getting on stage primarily for arguments, calling them debates. That's how you know something is dead because one, and a person that has respect and love for African culture and just moral, um, mentally stable culture will not be caught arguing at a debate. We were taught how to debate in school. There was never once any argument. People didn't even ever get started yell and shout. And you know how they trained us? They found out what you believed in, and they made you debate the opposite. If you're a real student competing in class and you want to win, you're going to try to win. And what that does is that forces you to diversify the way you think. It forcifies you to diversify the way you think. Now, when you look at the political specter, they're not debating. They're calling it a debate. They're arguing as well. And the people who get up there and actually debate are not allowed to be center stage because the moderators, they're all mentally ill retarded people too. Else, number one, they'll set the tone. I don't care, you Mr. Politician, you might be Illuminati, blah, blah, blah. You need to calm down, sir. Stop shouting. Lower your voice. We don't tolerate that behavior in here. I've never heard any of these people say that at a debate. That means the people organizing the debates and refereeing debates are nuts.
Now I take it. I understand your stance, but I always like to deal with the stance of what's going on with the people here right now, which that is one of them. But let's go even deeper. I feel that because we're talking about the light codes, correct?
Yeah.
Correct. We're still on the light codes.
Right.
All this have to do with light codes. How they use these light codes and it's very crafty because they have, and when I say they, I'm talking about the women, the female. A lot of the females have found their self debating with the man. And it's because of a next man who boosts their head up, boosts the ego up. And
right.
you want to touch on that or no?
Let me touch on one of the major driving forces behind women butting heads with men. It's not even the feminist movement and ideology. And this is why you need the light codes. There's certain black people I'll never have anything to do with for the rest of all eternity. You hear me? A woman's clitoris is a little penis. And when you suck a penis, the person attached to it wants to be a man. Period. Stimulation. I remember Layla or Africa, and he's one of the.
Dr. Layla Africa.
I ain't gonna say nothing. I hope that the brother moved on, things better. I hope he's making, because he's putting out some good information out there. His 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 error does not even is not even in the same ballpark as some of these others. But the formula is that, and one of these people did it. Malachi York was doing it. You go, you get people's books, and you just copy them, put them together into your own book. Malachi York was intelligent enough to get about 10 to 12 women whose jobs was to, get text and just replace words. You can just replace words. Marriage could be, instead of saying her marriage to king, yeah, semi-plagiarism. It could say her union to King Ramesses, because we know union means marriage.
Correct.
It could, instead of saying one of the many great Nubian queens, it could say one of the many great Kushite queens.
Right. Just switch the words around.
Switch the words around.
Black mind, salute to you. Black mind say copy paste books.
That brother that's right now basically kicking the black woman that he called the God in her face, because when you do that and then you just replace with a non-black woman, it's such a disgrace.
What are you talking about? No, a matter of fact,
right.
Forget it.
We said
forget. I don't study. I don't.
This is called. It's called the B-wig movement. The black woman is God movement. The B-wig movement.
You gotta explain that, bro. I never heard that term before.
Yo, it's.
And me and you vibes a lot, but I never heard that term. The B-wig.
It's called the B-wig movement.
Explain.
The black woman is God movement is the B-wig movement or the Bwig movement.
Now, what is that? You gotta explain that.
Resistance to this hustle is futile. You will be assimilated by the Bwig, not the Borg. You're not going to assimilate. Hell, people done forgot the Borg, man. Because I'm down with the Borg. I love the Borg.
Oh, wow.
Everybody got to get in line, and everybody got to support this ship. Okay?
Oh,
wow. The B-Wig movement, that is something else. That is the cube of the Borg used to reach their trophy, the non-black woman.
Wow.
How you feel, sisters? You've just been had.
Damn.
And a lot of us are glad.
That was a bit mean, boy.
Yeah, a lot of us are glad because we try to warn you. A lot of us are glad because we try to tell you. But I wanted to say that because, you talking about what's up with these women and the hurt to go as far as there's a cadre of women.
I just don't want them to take it out on all brothers now.
Right. Kingmakers.
That's really trying to help.
In the conscious movement, they have kingmakers. In order to be a king in the conscious movement, you had to have been approved by this cadre of women that wanted you to go on the Black Woman is God platform. Natural Tahuti was the first person that really got up on it.
Talking about Baba Seville's brother.
Right. And the Nateret Sakamet contacted me and said, you really need to be working with that brother. I thought it was so I could get on. You know what I'm saying? It was merely because he was telling people that he's the child of Sekhmet. Because I would have told him Sekhmet don't want no human kids. She's only looking for husbands. That's the first thing. The second thing is you're going to need protection. Because he was specifically getting put on in the Masonic temples. And that's one of the most dangerous places for a black man is in the Masonic temples. Because it's like gold. In the black community, if you get your ride in the Masonic temples, it's a whole nother level of existence. It's like, I've claimed certain people working for the government. No, man. You is the government. There's a difference between working for the government and being the government. And because there's a couple of people that I have to teach these things to so that they can have control and influence in America. There's a quote-unquote magical ritual system to have control in this country for people who qualify. You can influence the government. You can act as the government. If you a real Moor, you can act as the government. If you're a real high priest, you can act. When you get initiated to a high priest in a tradition that's not garbage, you're being brought into the government because the government is the Neteru, it's the Loa. The government is the Orishas. The government is the angels. That's who the government is. And every valid initiatory
Judges
rights,
of hosts.
yeah, every valid initiatory rights is really connecting you to the government. And that's why for me, it's not, I don't let people, I've brought several, I've brought probably about 10 people into the priesthood. You don't get to rock my name and say that I brought you into initiation unless you have fully absorbed the source code.
So hold on. It seemed like you digging a hole for yourself. I'm gonna tell you why.
I was born in the hole. You can call me Barabbas.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because some people will look to use that against you.
Oh, people will use anything against you.
Let me tell you. You say with the government and all that, which I totally agree.
Right.
Right? It's a fact.
It's a fact.
Ain't no getting around it with what you just said with the whole Masons and all that.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
Now, this is the thing, though. How is it that it was taken away from the rightful heirs?
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Because you
Yeah.
have these people, like you said, that's hoodwinking the black woman, have been hoodwinking the black woman for a long time. Now they get what they want. They switch up. How are they able to do that? How is it possible? Why is the judges of hosts, why would they allow that to happen? Why must it go down?
Not enough of us got married to the three fates. Not enough of us got married to the three fates. I'm a high priest of Vodun. Alright? Y'all don't know what the three fates are. Y'all might not have heard. Some of you all have. And some of you might think is Greek, which is one of the most retarded things that you can think. It's Atlantis.
How are they using it though, brother?
Well, first of all,
how are they
because
able to infiltrate?
Okay, this is what happens, right? When you have enough people in a group of people married to the goddess of fate, they restrict a lot of this garbage that is going on. Now, what is happening, because I said that Sekhmet is binding the archons to their karma, she's using a spider web. You know, she is a spider goddess as well. Sometimes she'll come to you as a tarantula because that's a lioness spider.
That's all good.
So
how are they using?
So you
it,
mean
brother?
how?
Don't dance around. You see, you tap dancing now. Because you have the information. And I know you got the information. Because we done spoke. And you don't want to give it to... You see, people, I don't do no bias interviews. I'm not letting him off the hook. I'm not letting him off the hook. He's tap dancing now. And I know he's tap dancing. And I tell everybody, come on this show.
You gonna get it.
Yeah, all right. Thank you. So, come on now. Give it to the people right. How are they able to infiltrate? I know it's certain stuff you don't want to give up, but just
all right.
Just touch on a little bit, man. Just touch a little bit
all
on
right.
it. The people have and deserve the right to know.
Okay, there are two main ways. One is covert and one is overt. And the covert way is the use of magic. The overt way is the government having agents that for about from the 1920s, probably from Tulsa, Oklahoma, from Black Wall Street, the government was like, we really got to put an eye on these Negroes. But not just to keep an eye on them. We got to find out how to make sure that they never ever have a Black Wall Street again. In Black Wall Street, you had blacker Moors, blacker Hebrews, and you had, blacker Muslims, blacker Christians, who were in unison. It was like Khmu people. I know a brother that was part of Occupy Wall Street. He's Khmu.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, not Occupy Wall Street, part of Black Wall Street. So what happened now is that the government has successfully learned how to subvert movements. This is what they do. You might be a correction officer, seeing a lot of crap, you don't like it. What do you see? You see a lot of other correctional officers making sure that black men get set up and raped. This is prison bitch culture. Google or YouTube the word prison bitch culture specifically. You know, there are great articles on the whole prison bitch thing. So anybody who says they're a correctional officer says, he might have been involved in something like that. He might have seen something like that. He might really hate some Caucasians afterwards. People that are in the military. But, you know, they mainly go after people who've graduated from institutions like Yale and Oxford, and people specifically who have a PhD. They mainly go after such people to get brought into.
But they do deal with the people from the hood, though.
Right. So
They do deal with the people
the
from
people
the hood.
from the hood, they usually catch it to them when they get locked up.
Hmm.
So let's say you got locked up for, I ain't talking about getting locked up for drugs. Like, come on.
Some real
Unless you
stuff.
talking about, you know, cocaine, like 10 tons.
Yeah, yeah.
I ain't talking about getting locked up for
Heavyweight.
4 pounds of weed, brother. Or 1 pound of weed.
Yeah, yeah.
Or a nickel bag. Don't getting locked up for something like murder. Somebody says, I beat a murder rap. It might be a trap.
Ooh!
Somebody
Hold on. Boom! Drop a bomb on it. Say it one more time, because I don't even think the audience heard that.
when that brother gets up and says, I beat a murder rap, he might be trapped. I ain't heard him say he got no voodoo.
So meaning they got him.
Of course.
He's basically the puppet on the string, and they're the puppet masters. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, we gonna let you out.
Be careful.
We
Be
gonna let
careful.
you, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Because, you know, them dudes in it, them brothers ain't even Pinocchio. Pinocchio actually became a real boy. And let me tell you something about Pinocchio
God,
and Geppetto. That stuff comes from ancient Kemet. The fairy godmother is Seshat because what? The wand is it is a stick with the marijuana plant on top of it. That's the magic wand. She's the educator of the nation. She's the person that puts together the educational system of a nation so that you actually grow up and become an adult. So these guys are Pinocchios as their puppets. The system has strings on them. And when you see them running to people like myself to get this knowledge so that they can go and look good, is because when the system just gives you 3 strings to control you, you look awkward and stupid. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't dance, you can't sing, you can't rhyme, you can't concatenate. And the Neteru keeps saying I taught them how to concatenate. This is one of the major things that the leave you for a white girl dude did. This is one of the major things that he learned from me, how to concatenate. Because once you learn how to do that, you start to run circles into people's heads. Because you keep in their mind validating what you're saying. They're not fast enough to go and research it. Some of the stuff you're saying, there are ideologies in their head that correlate with the words. So now they start to fall in love with what you're saying because you're putting it out really, really good. And, you know, most of these people look pretty sincere unless you were born with your eyes open. Because I can tell that these people are not sincere. People who are not sincere, their biggest thing is ego. And if you got to constantly brag, all right, I don't care if you grew up in ghetto culture, man. Because I was born and raised in a gully. Okay, it literally like climb up in the tree where I live and you look down, it's a bloody gully that I was born and raised in. You know, it's you know, and it's a quote unquote third world country. People say Barbados is special, blah 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 blah. Listen, man, there's a lot of crap that goes on there too. There is poverty there too. You know, you talking about especially I didn't have a television most of the time. The one time that we got a color television, thank the Neteru, my dad put a vase on it with flowers. It had a little leak and it drip.
That's
And
it.
just
I already knew what you was
we
gonna
never
say.
caught it. That TV was gone. We was done. No more TV. No more TV. We never ever had a telephone, even today. The house that I grew up in doesn't have a telephone. I didn't grow up with a telephone. You know, so didn't grow up with a whole lot of luxuries that even poor black people in this country grew up with. I don't need to flash no goddamn money to prove that I'm successful or to make me feel good. You know, I don't need to, and I'm telling you right now, how you know who is king or who is not. The reason why you'll never see me driving a car. The reason why kings and queens get chauffeured is because really, if you're not playing sports amongst your people, you don't have the mental space to drive, keep your head on the road with all the downloads that you are receiving and with all of the different beings and people and ancestors that are trying to talk to you. You need to sit in the back seat like a real king.
Facts.
This brother lost respect in me because I agreed to sit in the back seat. I'm trying to tell the brother, dude, they call it riding shotgun because those are the first people to get their brains blown out. You, who rushed for the front seat should get it. That's the person who has volunteered to be the sacrifice.
Biggie Smalls died in the front seat.
Biggie Smalls,
Tupac died in the front seat.
seat.
And 50 Cent didn't die, but he got shot in the
front seat. John F. K. was in the front seat. Wasn't John F. K. in the front seat?
All right. Bye.
We will check to verify that later, but you know.
No. He was
In the back seat?
Yeah, but it was a motorcade. So it had the different levels.
All right. That's different then. Good. Because if John F. Kennedy had been in the goddamn front seat, I would have been...
It's still considered the front seat. It's a motorcade. It's still considered the front seat.
It is front seat exposure, but it's not front seat behavior.
Yeah,
it's not front seat mentality.
But it's still the front seat. I mean, I don't mean to laugh at it, but it's still the front seat.
He should have sacrificed some chickens that morning, man. Like, come on, you know. And because
you know the family was into some stuff too, but for some reason they
know why
they stopped being into that.
And if I tell people why they call their family Camelot, why they call that Camelot, because Camelot is the kingdom that the Messiah established in England. And it's called Camelot because if you look up Jesus in Gamala, that's Camelot. It's Chem Allah, as in Alchem. You know, Chem, it was called Alchem. There's a place up in the Middle East that's pronounced now Gamala. That's Camelot. When it went to England, they just added the T. Camelot.
Malagesh.
Yeah, because that family, the Kennedys, Kenneth, that's
Connecticut.
And Connecticut and Candace and Candeke, those are Cushite queens. The Kennedys are not Caucasians. Those are, you could call them blackamoors or Hebrews or, whatnot, who got amalgamated onto the light-skinned, curly hair spectrum.
And people, no matter how much proof you show, a lot of people don't like to accept that.
Nope.
Like, it's a reason why they were so different from the rest.
Yep.
And when you have the other 13 families that realize this, and we know the 13 families, we ain't got to get into that.
Yep.
For those who don't know about it, we just going to have to do another show. But once they find out about that, and they're like, yo, we have to stop them. The way how things go, and salute to Sister Mawaneta. I just seen she's on.
Mawaneta.
The way how things go, you explained it pretty well. You was buck dancing a bit.
I didn't understand.
Nah, to hell, no.
Joe gotta win something.
No, don't let us not do that on live. You put on them tap dancing shoes for a while because I understand.
We need to get Ernie and Bert.
It's certain information. No, I get it. I get it.
I'm gonna go buy an Ernie and Bert doll, or Grover, and Grover is going to be these conscious guys.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have the doll like this, and the black woman is God.
I get it. Certain information that is not supposed to, but that's one of the things that my show thrive on is giving out certain information that a lot of people don't know. So I couldn't allow you to just tap dance around the issue. You had to
Right.
give a little bit at least.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Just a little bit at
Yeah.
least, because just the little that you gave enlighten a lot of people to the understanding of what's really going on, not just in a conscious community setting, but in all types of communities
Right.
where people play this stunt.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, Caucasians mastered this before this whole African American revolution experience. Caucasians been mastered pimping the spiritual game.
And let me
How
say,
do I
wait,
know?
wait, wait, don't even go on to that. We're gonna save that. We're gonna save that. That's a whole
Yeah,
nother show.
yeah.
I got to say this. That's a whole nother show. You know
Yeah,
that.
we need to do a show on them.
I got to say this because I got a huge international audience. A lot of white people, Asian people, people from all over watch me, right? The thing that I'm noticing is why I be having to check some people because, they take my kindness for weakness.
Yeah.
And I know you know about that already.
Yep. That's why I had to change up my the way that I respond to people. When a door is stuck like closely, you gotta hit it really hard to open it up.
Right. So I had to move in a way, and I'm like, I always said, especially once I started the show,
Right.
you understand? I always said, I'm going to make sure I fill that void that been there for so long, and other people is afraid to step in that place. People don't know the death threats I done got. People don't know the wickedness that people try to do me. People don't even know the so-called Illuminati. I had to check some people and say, yo, chill. Yeah, one dude went to the highest voodoo man at the time in 80 to get me. All over women, of course. And the dude told him, nah, not him.
See, now
We're going to mess with the lady, but not him. And the reason why I mentioned, right. And the reason why I mentioned this is because
the priest didn't want to get killed.
right, there you go.
Period.
People go around and they doing certain things, and they are influencing negatively these women.
Right. Oh.
And it's only so I know you didn't understand the direction I was going in.
Okay.
And there is that light code that will activate once these women get mad and realize, hey, you look to trick me. You look to hoodwink me. You look to move like this. You look to move like that. There is going to be a price to pay
I'm going to drop
when
a
that
name.
activate.
I'm going to drop a name.
Come on, brother.
It's going on because what they did, seeing as I was not immoral, because even though I wasn't
But
getting...
you got so much people that do it though. So if you
Yeah,
say one
but
name,
we're gonna
the
talk
people
about
will
the
be
conscious
like, you
movement
gotta
though, because the conscious movement has its go-to,
I understand.
has its go-to
Right.
Abba da Baba da Ba, because I ain't gonna call him no Baba Lao, because at this point you are really not. They have their go-to person for that. So these heads, the people in the conscious movement that are getting good play with all this information, but are refusing to actually go and get that knowledge themselves, go and get initiated into the priesthood. They found someone that they can trust, that won't, in their minds, really, really like, trap them into having to stick with them no matter how crazy it is, to get that done. And it is being done.
It's gonna
And
be a hard price for them to pay though. When
oh yeah,
these women,
because you're not supposed to
know.
violate. That is about
these
because
women are very powerful, man.
yeah, and not just that, but you're not supposed to violate the sacred nature. The sacred nature is called the divine plan. The word plan is analogous with the word seker, and seker is a nature of death, like she's about to him, Sekir's male, Sekert is female. They're like about the graveyard. You have Cicada was a cemetery. Because destiny, in order to make sure that destiny happens, people gotta die.
All right. This is the last question because we got to wrap it up. I see the time.
Oh yeah,
Because I already said I ain't giving people these 2-hour shows and 3-hour shows. And I done went over the time. But my main man Baba knew. Said, yo, want to do something? I'm like, all right, we're going to turn it on light codes. I know about light codes. Okay, let's get it. But I see a question now. I've been hearing this guy name a lot. And this is from Black Mind. Joel, thoughts on Brother Jabari? Now, I don't know who Jabari is. And I haven't ever watched a video with him. I've heard his name before, though. Now, do you know of the brother?
I know.
I heard he deal with the Kemetic stuff.
Yeah, his whole thing is Kemet. I don't know him personally. Like, we have not spoken a whole lot. Like, we haven't.
Have you seen his work? Because like I said, I haven't seen his work yet.
Barely. Listen. I barely check for anybody. It has nothing to do with arrogance. Most of the people that I was listening to are the people who are bringing that scientific information on quote unquote free energy. The people who are, keeping track of the apocalypse. Most of the people that I've listened to are people who are exposing the Illuminati, the different things that the Illuminati is doing. The fact that the Illuminati has an army. There are like 1 million people in this country who receive extreme Illuminati training.
More than that.
Yeah,
we gonna stick with that.
You're talking about running scenarios on kids that cause trauma, that cause split personalities, which makes it much, much easier for you to be versatile in the world, especially in the area of positions that really take hardcore decision making.
Monarch Project.
The Monarch Project, because
undercover female assassins.
And man, there's so much that we got to do. Let me tell you because for some of us, that's the gangster life that we grew up in, whether it was gangs or not. I remember pretty much just being here whilst there was a group of people just chopping somebody up with a cutlass. So, that kind of stuff, like death doesn't like, ah! So, what they do is, not everybody could handle it. So they make sure that their kids get accustomed to people dying around them and to them killing people at a young age.
And people get shocked when they get to know you and you experience that and they see how you move.
Right. And then now, because if they don't film you doing something compromising, that's what they do to control
trap you in.
Trap you in. With that type of training, you're a better leader because this is a cruel world. You are way less uncompromising. Getting me to sell out, man, you talking about $1 billion, and I ain't talking about working for you, dude. You could give me $1 billion, I'll go over here and do my thing.
Right.
Like this is the same type of thing that the Jamaicans had with the British. The Jamaicans could have continued fighting the British until they had the whole island. They really could have. They decided, you know what?
Descendants of the Maroons.
Yeah, they decided, you know what? We're going to have a peace treaty because we're going to spread this revolution to other places. One of those places was Haiti. And a lot of people don't like to hear that.
They don't.
They want to say this, that. But there are things going on behind the scenes and in front of the scenes, because when you look at that treaty, that I was like, why y'all sign a treaty? Y'all winning. Who signs a treaty when you are winning? Because you just winning for you. You're not winning for all the other oppressed people because you're busy just winning for you.
Right.
So once you got enough, which is half, wife leaves you, half.
Not yet.
And you got half. This marriage is over, we're taking half. Because the Moors and the British Empire were practically the same people, y'all. All them pirate wars.
That's a whole nother show.
Yeah, that's a whole nother show.
That's a whole nother show.
Oh, and the Hebrews. British.
I believe my boy Alim Bey. Yeah, shout out to Alim Bey.
Yeah.
Alim Bey touched on that
You
before.
know, I am very British, not because of the slave trade and the whatever.
Yeah,
No.
talk about ancestry.
Yeah, we the first Europeans, we civilized Europeans. We put together the whole way that you should express yourself as a European. So when I put up my ancient Kamut tea sipping niggas, you see the tea sipping niggas looking just like how the people in England sip tea.
Yeah.
This is like 2500 BC.
Mm-hmm.
Where you got your culture from, man?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get it from you. Excuse me, sir. You got it from me. My ability to use the English language Shakespearean-esque ain't even come from studying Shakespeare. Because he's one of us.
And that's it. That's the time. That's it. Give out your info, bro.
Egyptian voodoo priest at gmail.com to contact me. I do readings, consultations. Lately I've been healing people long distantly. Getting rid of a lot of trouble in their life. I'm at the point where I just have to pray for you. Pray for you. And I just ask one thing.
Facebook?
Yeah.
You got give them Facebook.
You're not going to have my Facebook right now. And I have a new one. It's just like,
Under construction, basically.
yeah, it's under construction. It looks damn good, but I'm waiting for a few things. Rebirth. Tahuti brought me a start with the babies like rebirth, start fresh. EGYPTIANVODOO @gmail.com.
All right. That's it. People. Once again, made sure I brought you the information, gave you some information. Had to pry this guy open for some more information. You saw he was trying to hold back on you a little bit. I wasn't going to allow it. Not here. And you'll see more of us. You'll see more of him. And we're going to bring you the information. Salute to everybody in the room. Salute to my international audience. Salute to my domestic audience. Salute to everybody out there. Salute to all the moderators. Salute to Wifey Benjamin. Salute to everybody out there. Again, we here, Nicholas, Brooklyn, 1396 Fulton Street, Brooklyn, New York. Later, I'll bring to you a Facebook Live. Got to do it on the stuff to lose weight. So later, I'll hit you with that Facebook Live. Right now, we got the Healing Circle going on. It's Healing Circle Tuesdays. So I got to get down there.
Peace.
Peace.